This episode is brought to you by John Blake Sales Breakthrough Solutions, helping you to at least double the amount of leads that you get that convert into paying clients.
Welcome to the Master Dealmaker's Secrets podcast. And now, here's sales growth strategist, John Blake.
Welcome to Master Dealmaker Secrets. I'm John Blake. This is episode 149, and today we are going to be talking about counter sales questions. So counterintuitive sales questions. So I think this is going to be a really powerful episode for you. But before we do that, if you've got leads that you want to convert into paying clients, so these are people that you've spoken to, people who are in your proposal sent column that you've spoken to, you have sent them a proposal or a fee outline or a quote, and they haven't converted into a paying client yet, I want you to head over to johnblakeaudio.com. This is the exact strategy that I start every single client that I work with on, and it is how we can create a quick win, a quick injection of sales revenue into their business, and it's how we can monetize this asset. So most businesses have got a stupid amount of unbanked sales sitting right there in their CRM. They've got their contact details, the person's seen the product, they've done all the heavy lifting, they've got rapport with them, but they haven't monetized this asset that is sitting in their business. So the strategy that you will get over at johnblakeaudio.com will allow you to do that, right? So you will get a 15-minute audio which walks you through the entire strategy, but what you'll also get is a PDF that's got the word-for-word templates, exactly what to say when you ring up on the phone, exactly what to say if you get someone's voicemail, exactly what to write in your emails, and exactly when to call and when to email over a 90-day period to really maximize the sales and monetize that particular asset. So it is over at johnblakeaudio.com. Grab it, use it, put it into practice, get a result with it, and let me know how you go. I love hearing success stories. I have had so many people that have had a great result through using this. What's even better is that you can actually teach it to somebody else so you don't have to do it. So yeah, let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear your success story. I'm sure that will be really useful. Once again, it's over at johnblakeaudio.com. Okay, so we're going to talk about is counterintuitive sales questions. So one of the things that I do is I listen to a lot of sales calls. So luckily enough, with technology as it is, I get to listen to all these calls that my clients do, and it is such a powerful coaching tool. And one of the things that I've picked up recently is that there are two ways that you can phrase a question. You can answer the question first and then say to the person, would that be useful? Or, is that the sort of thing you had in mind? Or you can ask the question and the person can actually answer the question, right? So rather than answering the question for them and then asking them a question that confirms what you said, the best thing that you can do is ask a question that elicits the response that's actually right or real for them. A lot of people who listen to the podcast want to know what we do over at Master Dealmaker Secrets. And effectively what we do is we work with sales professionals and business owners all over the world who are seeing massive increases in their top line sales revenue. So we help business owners and sales professionals to effectively focus on the three key drivers to growing sales revenue in your business. The first one is controlling the message that you send out into the marketplace so that potential clients see and hear and read what you do as an opportunity as opposed to your competitors. The second thing that we do is we help you to create a direct path to the 20% of your ideal clients that will deliver 80% of the revenue. So everyone knows the 80-20 rule. We help you to develop a direct path to the 20% of the people that are going to give you 80% of your sales revenue in your business. And the third thing that we allow you to do, that we create a process for, is for you to be able to double the amount of leads that you get that convert into paying clients. So if this is of interest, we do have an application-only process to become involved in this particular program. And to get to there, all you need to do is to go to www.johnblakescall.com. So it's JOHNBLAKESCALL.com, and there's a couple of questions to answer there, and then what you'll do is get on a quick conversation with me, and I can find out a little bit more about what you've got going on in your business and see potentially whether what you are doing would be a fit for what we could help you with. And at that point, I can extend an invitation if it's a fit, and you can make the choice to come on board or not. So that's the opportunity. That would be the next step if you're looking at how you can take things to the next level. If you're enjoying what you're hearing on the podcast, if you're getting value from it, I invite you to do that, and I will look forward to talking to you. The website is www.johnblakescall.com. Talk to you soon. So an example might be, so if you were selling a financial product, you could say, is financial freedom important to you? Right? Now, most people are going to go, yeah, but that might not be what they're thinking. And the problem with the term financial freedom is that it is used so much. If you overuse a term, it loses its meaning. It becomes lost in the ether. It just becomes like noise. But if you were to say to somebody, so why is it that you want to get better at investing? And the person says, because, I really want to be able to set myself up for later on in life so that I can retire earlier and so that I can take my family traveling, right? So that is so much more a powerful response than answering your version of what you think that they should want and then asking them a question just to get a simple yes, right? So that's one way of asking questions. And like I said, the former is way less powerful than the latter, right? So asking a question, having the person express what's on their mind is a lot better than you expressing what's on your mind and then simply asking the person that you're talking to a question to get a yes to confirm what it is that you said. But there's another type of question that I have encountered, which I have found to be really, really powerful. And I'm going to give you 3 different examples of it. So it's called counterintuitive sales questioning. And so there's a book that I read about this recently by a guy called Jim Camp, which is called Going for No. And it's a really powerful book, but I wanted to give you a couple of different examples of it, right? So the first one is scaling. So anyone who's been in sales for longer than 5 minutes, understands this whole concept of scaling. So scaling is, so on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, really not interested at all, and 10 being I'm really, really, good to go and let's get this done. Where would you place yourself? And traditionally, if the person that you were talking to said, I'm a 6 or a 7, traditionally what you were encouraged to do was to say, well, what would it take you to get you to a 9 or a 10, right? That was what scaling was. But recently, I heard a counterintuitive way to put that, and I believe it's a lot more powerful because so effectively you would phrase the question this way. You would say, so on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being this is the worst conversation that you've ever had and you want to get off the call straight away, and 10 being I'm good to go, this sounds amazing, get me signed up right now, where would you place yourself? And if the person, regardless of what the person says, they might say a 7, they might say an 8, they're probably going to say a 7 or a 6, or a 6 or a 7 is probably what they're going to say. Regardless of what number that they give you, you say, why didn't you say a 1 or a 2? Right? Why didn't you say a 1 or a 2? Now, it's so counterintuitive because now the person has to continue to tell you what they like about what you're talking about. So rather than saying, what would it take to get you to a 9 or a 10, you're saying, well, why didn't you say a 1 or a 2? And now they're telling you all the reasons why they think what you're selling or what you're talking about is a really good idea. So that's one example. The second example comes from a client that I am working with, where typically it's a consumer product. It's like a home improvement product, and typically what happens is that the customer will go for between 2 and 3 quotes. And this particular example, my client was presenting the proposal that she put together to the client, and the client was sitting there with another piece of paper that they had gotten from a competitor. And so the lady that I was coaching was presenting the proposal in the way that we had trained her to do, which is great. But the customer kept looking at this other quote that was on the table. And so my client, instead of ignoring it, but because clearly it was in the space, because it kept drawing her attention, she said, "What's stopping you going with that quote?" Right, which is such a counterintuitive thing to say. What's stopping you going in that with that quote? If you keep looking at it, why don't you go with that quote? And she turned around and she said, "Oh, because I like your product better. I like your product better." So straight away, that's come out of her mouth rather than the alternative, which might be, "Oh, our products are better than that." In which case you can be easily doubted by the person that you're talking to. Instead of saying that, she said, "Oh, well, what's stopping you going with that other quote?" And she said, "Oh, I like your product better." Bingo. She ended up, getting that particular order on the spot. So that's the second example. The third example is if you've done any of my training, we talk about expressing the three biggest problems that your particular product solves. And so so typically the way that we would ask this is we would say, okay, so the three biggest problems. So I'll give you mine, right? So the three biggest problems that clients come to me with that I can solve is, the first one is they aren't converting as many of the leads that they are paying for, or the inquiries that they're getting. They're not converting as many of those into paying clients as what they could be, and it's meaning that their average cost of sale is a lot higher than what it needs to be, and they're spending a lot more on marketing than what they need to be spending. The second problem that clients come to me with that I can help them solve is that they know they have a list of dream clients that they want to get in front of, but they don't have a strategy to get in front of those dream clients other than cold calling and cold emailing, and their normal marketing and referral process isn't bringing those clients to them. So they have no dream client attraction or conversion strategy. And the third problem that clients come to me with that I can help them solve is that they aren't articulating the value that they provide into the market in a way that their potential clients are seeing what they do as an opportunity as opposed to their competitors. So I would list those three problems, and then one way of doing that is that I would say, so out of those three, which ones resonate the most with you, right? So that's one way of saying it. But if to use counterintuitive sales questioning, I would say, I would list those three problems, and then I would say, so I get the feeling that you're going to tell me that none of those apply in your world. And again, you're saying something that's counterintuitive that then prompts the person to then turn around and say, "Oh, no, they're definitely problems that we have." So it's a very different way of doing it, because it's unexpected. They're not expecting us to phrase questions in that way, and it'll stand out, and it will make it will create a real point of difference in between how people are perceiving you as opposed to your competitors. So I hope that is helpful. Again, thank you very much for listening. I very much appreciate it, and I will talk to you on the next podcast. Cheers.
You've been listening to Master Dealmaker Secrets with John Blake. Subscribe to get more in-depth strategies and maximize your sales process with new episodes every other week. And double your inquiry to sale conversion with the lead flow you already have. Go to johnblakeaudio.com for his exclusive, free, no fluff audio training and companion PDF guide.